The Trouble with Tribbles, Star Trek Season 2, one of the most famous episodes. Everyone knows the Tribbles, those little furry balls. You can buy them in shops, and I went to the Star Trek Cafe back in Vegas when they had that going. And they had Tribbles there, which is great. Did I buy one? Yeah, I think I bought a little one for my wife. They're cute, they're annoying, they eat a lot, and they just invade your ship. We're going to talk about this episode using my space system. So story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best you can get in any category. I didn't know Trelane made an appearance here as one of the Klingon captains. But so that was kind of interesting. I'd forgotten that. But I'll give the storyline a 1 out of 2. Look, it's simple. The Enterprise gets an emergency call, which they're unhappy about, to transport some grain. It's like super grain. And they need guards and all this stuff. And then Uhura picks up a Tribble, brings it back on board, and they just grow and whatever. So there's a subplot with the Klingons and one of them maybe infiltrating or whatever. There's like a spy perhaps. The grain's been tainted, this kind of a thing. I don't need to go in depth with this story. Everybody knows it. We've seen it a bunch of times. We've seen it in Deep Space Nine where they did that awesome anniversary special where they went back in time. That was kind of fun. So look, it's simple story, but I still liked it. It's fine. I'm giving it a 1. That's that. Pacing, I'm going to give it a 1.5. I thought there's a lot of fun in it. There's a big brawl in the bar. There's a bar fight, which is great. I'm going to talk about that in the character section a little bit more. And yeah, like you're solving the mystery along with them. I guess it's not like super exciting. So 1.5 may be a little bit too much. Maybe it's really a 1. But I wasn't bored, and I liked where it was going. And I guess the subplot with a saboteur or whatever is kind of neat, and the Klingons being there made it a little bit better. So typically I would have given this a 1, but I'm going to give it a 1.5 because I did like it a lot. The artistry, I'll give it a 1. Like the Tribbles are just furry balls. They don't really do anything. They move a little bit. Some of them kind of move a little bit. I mean, it's okay. It's put mostly on the ship or that one set, right? So there's not like a big space battle or anything cool like that. So, but everything looks good. Music's good. The usual typical thing. If it's 0 means it's bad, 1 means it's good, 2 means it's amazing. So it's not amazing, right? But it's good. So the art's fine. The characters, well, this I'm giving a 2 out of 2. Firstly, the Klingon guys were good too. That one guy who wants that expert who wants the grain transported, he's kind of an ass, but he's kind of a funny ass. Like I thought he was pretty like no, and then Kirk's reaction to him is great too, which is awesome. But let's talk about Scotty and Kirk, and the entire fight is going to be a little longer. It's absolutely the best, most hilarious thing ever. Chekhov and Scotty and some rando guy is there. And then the Klingon comes over and says, oh, you guys are losers. And then Chekhov's like all pissed off. He's like, Mr. Chekhov. Scotty's like, Mr. Chekhov, let it be. Oh, your captain's trash, and he's a scum sucker and all this. It's like, oh, did you hear what he said about the captain? Sonny, let it be. It's all good. And then he's like, oh yeah, the Enterprise is a garbage ship. You better rephrase that. And then boom, punches him. Then there's a fight. Then he cut to the fight. After the fight, they're all in a lineup, and he's like, all right, that's who started this. Who threw the first punch? I want to know. Oh, I don't know. Chekhov, you're hot-headed. You did it, right? No, I don't know. Well, who did? I don't know. He's like, all right, well, that's it. You guys are confined to quarters. Get out. And he's like, Scotty, stay behind. He's like, come over here. He's like, so what happened, Scotty? Well, the Klingons came over and they said we're idiots. It's like, oh, okay, so the fight. No, the fight didn't start. Okay, he goes, oh, then they made fun of you and stuff. They said you're terrible. He's like, oh, they said I was terrible. Oh, they said you're a terrible captain. All this, like, and then he goes, oh, so what else did they say? He's like, oh, and they said that you're like a scum sucker and you're the worst. Like this long thing, you're this and you're that, and and you can see in Kirk's face. Look, Shatner's a good actor. I don't know if people are saying he's not a good actor. In his face, you could see that he was kind of happy that they were defending his honor. He's like, I see. They called me all these names, and then you had to, defend my honor. He's like, oh no. He's like, no. He's like, no, we're good with that. He's like, oh, well, then how did the fight start? He's like, well, they said the Enterprise was garbage. He's like, oh, and that's when it started. He's like, oh, because yes, sir. It's like, we've got our pride and all that. We got a reputation to consider. And he's like, okay. And you can see that he's a bit disappointed that the fight didn't start over them making fun of him. That entire part, I had to pause it because I was laughing so hard at just like as Kirk's reactions to where he's like, yeah, he was kind of like excited. He's like, yeah, of course, thanks, you guys stood up for my honor. It's like, no, we didn't. That was great. A lot of great character stuff in this one. The enjoyment factor, I'm gonna give it a 2. I know it's kind of silly and it's a goofy one, but I kind of like this episode. I think there's like some legit cool things too. And the Tribbles that they're all cute and everything, but they really are troublesome. It's you can't have a bunch of these things on the ship. There's eating like and just reproducing like crazy. There is actually some disturbing stuff too when they eat the tainted grain. That is disturbing because that was meant to feed people. So there is that. And I know we could say the Tribbles, they're expendable because they're just little balls. But when they all fall on Kirk, and it's kind of funny, and they keep falling, and that is funny. And I did laugh out loud. But then McCoy scans it, you're like, yeah, these are all dead, or most of them are dead. You're like, oh shit. It's like, so what the hell happened? So that was kind of cool. Yeah, this is a good episode. I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. Look, I can't give you, I can't say this is a 10 out of 10, obviously, like compared to like Obsession or compared to like Devil in the Dark or any of these other like really big epic ones, but they'd all have to be. This is one of the examples where it doesn't have to be a super epic storyline every time. It's not the death machine every episode, right? Because then the death machine wouldn't stand out, right? But it's fun. It was a fun episode. The characters were good. It didn't destroy Star Trek. I think that a few of the lost arts here, not just in Star Trek, but in anything, even like a Doctor Who or obviously Star Wars has just gone down the shitter. The lost art of firstly making characters that you like. And they can't write epic stories. We know that. They always revert to, the hero needs to do something, and no matter what it is, even though Luke already had a hero's journey, he now has to become a loser again in order to have another moment again, because they just can't write anything new. They can't write something where you can have characters that you love that are established and just do something fun. This is just a fun one. It doesn't have to make you think or change your life every episode. They're allowed to have one that's about the characters just being fun. And like it's tiresome to just like continually see these things fail, and you're like, this is just boring and I don't care. So I think this one's great. I think it's a lot of fun. It's not going to change your life or anything like that, but it's really fun to watch. So there you go. If you like my space system, please like the video, consider subscribing. Check out Saturday Night Star Trek on my friend Clobberin Time's channel. The link to his channel is in the description of this video, plus all other videos that I post. So check them out. They do 4 episodes every Saturday night. So they're on Voyager right now. So pretty cool. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.